What was the last crisis you had, artistic or existential?
Artistic or existential?
I mean,
Crisis.
this whole lockdown pretty much has just been a big existential crisis.
Yeah, pretty much just the crisis of being separated from one another and trying to come together and make things work. I feel like when we were last in the studio, we had a bit of a crisis with Ewan, where he wasn't actually allowed to attend the recording sessions.
Shit, yeah.
So we kind of had to. His mum wouldn't let him. Basically, is that what
Wasn't allowed.
He's still raging about it.
Yeah.
He's still raging about it. So we had to like sneak him out of Edinburgh for one day to come into the studio and lay it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, we overcame that.
It worked.
Yeah,
We kind of like established by the end of the day, like him wearing a mask all day in like a non-ventilated place was just not really going to do much at all. But
yeah, pretty much.
You've got to do what you got to do. You know,
of course we exercise extreme safety and caution in everything we do.
Yeah.
Of course.
Any existential?
Mate, well, the whole last year.
Do we have time to list all the existential crises that we've experienced?
I don't think we'll have time for that.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's been a struggle in the last year. It's been really hard being away from my boys.
Yeah, of course.
But I think we're coming out of that now a better band than we were before and closer than we were before. We're just looking forward to going forward.
Ready to get back to it.
Dive back in.
When you say coming out of a better band than before, is that just because you've managed to get through this and you feel like now that you've got through this, there's nothing tougher that you're probably going to have to face, or?
I feel like having the time to actually take a step back and look at the band without having to just like constantly be worried about shows, I think has done a lot.
Yeah.
Because we've gotten to kind of like think about how we want to, I guess, present the image of the band compared to how we sound, and I feel like we're kind of getting to a place where we actually look like the band that we want to be, and we've gotten a bit more collaborative with how we write songs as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, certainly.
We were definitely doing stuff that we weren't doing before, like because we were all in, like whenever we happened to like get back together, because it would be quite rare that we'd be back together because we're all in different places, we would usually like do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it was just some like simple, like getting like 2 or 3 tracks done in Ableton, it was like
exactly.
we got it done.
Like we used to like just write all our songs pretty much in the practice room, and like usually me and Reese would like bring like a verse and a chorus, and we'd like kind of build it from there. But it's been good to actually collaborate with each other a bit more over like doing stuff in DAWs.
I would say because that's how most of our songs were written before. We'd come into the rehearsal room with an idea, but I think now that we've been trying out coming together, putting some demos together, and writing from there instead of all of it in the rehearsal room, we're able to look at it more.
We had to as well because it wasn't rehearsal studios open.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Exactly. We had no choice,
to
and we were wanting to come out of lockdown with like at least some stuff ready, and we
have done.
Which is we're happy
All
with.
out necessity. I mean, I wouldn't blow smoke up our arse and say we had diamonds under pressure, but we definitely had a few jewels.
I would absolutely say that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well said.
Fucking greatest stuff we've ever put.
You mentioned something quite interesting there too, though, about how you feel like now you look more like the band that you sound. How do you unpack that connection? How do you make that connection between something aesthetic and visual and an audio thing? What's that line for you?
We've been doing a lot of our visual stuff with Rosie Skull. Shout out Rosie Skull, best photographer in Glasgow.
Best flatmate.
Best in the game. Yeah, best in the game.
And I mean, like all the songs. We have some songs coming out, and a song that just came out, and we've had those for quite a while, and we also recorded them quite a while ago as well. We've had them sitting around, and I feel as though we've had a long time to sit with pretty much the finished songs and think more about the visual aspects and the aesthetic aspects of them, and I'm really happy with all the visual work that we've been doing.
I think lockdown has given us a lot of time to become as miserable as our songs are, really. So now we can kind of match it a bit better than we did before. I mean, like pretty much all these songs, they kind of like come from, I guess, a lonely place. They come from kind of like a place of isolation. Like, you know, we say we're all from Edinburgh, but we're kind of all from bumfuck. We're all from in between. We're all kind
varying
of
degrees of bumfuck
in between bits, and the songs that we're going to be coming out with are kind of reflect that. So it's been good to kind of look at what bands we love do to put themselves across and kind of find a way to do that in our own kind of way.
Yeah, I would say as well, like, the aesthetic thing kind of comes along with, like, like, you get the change of sound in your general direction just as you grow as a person or as a band in general. Like, you don't just grow individually, like, when you're around, like, well, in our case, 3 other people, like, for us, we all, like, put ideas off each other, and we all just kind of influence each other in different ways, even if we're not realising it.
Yeah.
And especially when you've had time to, like, dwell on it, and then you get, like, such a short time, but I would say an intense time if you get to actually meet up with people after the last year.
Yeah, exactly.
To answer your original question, we, as I said, we have a batch of tracks coming out soon, and they'll have a aesthetic theme throughout, which we've never really been able to do before, just because we have a kind of larger batch of tracks and we've had longer to sit on them, and we're really happy for everyone. We're excited for everyone to see them. Yes, we're very happy with it all.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it enhances the songs as well.
Do you see the songs as part of the healing process or an extension of the pain from which they were forged?
Oh,
I like that question.
That's a really good one, actually.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'd say it's a bit of both.
I would agree. Yeah, it is a bit of both. Because I mean, I guess like the songs aren't really autobiographical at all. They're kind of like they're stories, really.
Yeah.
So I guess it's kind of projecting maybe our own pain onto some kind of character and some kind of narrative. But like, I feel like maybe I write a song as kind of like I have to be in a specific mood. I actually have to be in the mood that I'm trying to get across if I'm going to write a song. So it's a part of the healing process to like get it out of you and put it into another medium. But yeah, I guess that kind of has to come from pain in a way. So it's a circle of healing and hurt.
Because you always express, like, well, not always, but like I think negative emotions, they're a lot easier to get out a lot of the time. Like, maybe they take a bit hold of you a bit easier. So when like you're doing a sad song, it's a lot easier to do a sad song than a happier song, I would say.
Yeah, I think everyone can relate to some form of melancholy or uncertainty or unhappiness.
Yeah.
When I hear like really outwardly like happy songs, I'm kind of just like, fuck off, man. Like,
it's like that's just not real.
good for you, but like, don't cheese. I'm talking to you, Pharrell Williams. Yeah,
he was class.
we can all relate to each other's misery.
Yeah.
That's beautiful in its own way.
And I think as well, our kind of method for writing songs recently has kind of been, well, musically at least, throwing everything into the song and just kind of going into that flow state and just throwing everything we have emotionally and musically into the song. And then I guess that's kind of what's the word? The
theory, the method,
the exorcism.
the exercise, the catharsis.
The catharsis of releasing whatever feelings we have into the song, and then we can look at it later and kind of strip that back a bit, and I guess that's the healing process.
Yeah.
If you want to say that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's good wee metaphor.
Thank you.
You do your learning after the fact. So.
Yeah,
That's true.
exactly.
That's true.
If we take this recent single then, for example, so you mentioned that they're all stories. Did writing that solidify what you already felt about that experience, or did it give you a new perspective upon it and maybe change the way that you felt?
Yeah, I feel like
I would say new perspective.
I would say it gives you a new perspective, because I think at the time you kind of just take the raw feeling that you have and you kind of unpack it, but you don't really get a full understanding of how you're feeling until later on. I think that's a good part of having the songs, because you can kind of see the bits that were, I guess, implicit and not totally outwardly said.
Yeah, totally. The latest single as well, it's been through kind of a journey of what it really means, I suppose. Because Jack birthed the concept for the song. It was kind of, it was a story.
Yeah. I don't know, I guess it's like, I've always kind of done that. I find it hard to like write, I guess, kind of like loose, kind of conceptual songs. I find it much easier to kind of like tell a narrative, and like people can kind of take from that what they will.
I think you're much more literal with your writing than I am. But I think when it comes together,
it's a good
it's a very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good point, yeah.
Absolutely. I think now that we have all these songs together and we know that they're going to be part of the same body of work, it's easier to kind of see the ways that they do connect that maybe weren't fully intentional. It's always nice when that happens. It makes us look a lot smarter than we are. But it's good to see. And I think it's just easier to come up with a narrative and put it all like that, because I don't know, maybe I've tried to write about stuff that's actually happened to me in like literal terms, but it's like honestly not that interesting and not that profound, that I was sad one time, so
we turn that into bigger things.
Instead it's someone losing their friend by jumping off a bridge and like performing satanic occult rituals to get them back.
We've all been there.
Yes.
We've all been there. Definitely been there.
Certainly.
We've all been there.
Everyone can relate to that.
When you come to the group with the initial idea for that, how clear an idea do you have of where it's going to end up?
No idea.
I really don't know until I show it to everyone else, because I'm not exactly like a virtuoso on any kind of instrument. I kind of know enough guitar to kind of put chords together. Sorry, my phone's going mental. Shush. But
On business.
I know, that's honestly terrible. I bring it to them, and I usually like to get the structure of the song together, have all the lyrics ready if I can, but the real instrumental body and character of the song doesn't really come out until I bring it to them, because they're the guys who know how to play the instruments.
And it's the same case for me when I bring an idea to the table. I feel as though I have different things prepared than you do when you come with an idea. Whereas you'll usually have a pretty finished body of works and maybe a chord progression. Whereas I'll usually come through with more on the musical side, where I'll have a lot of riffs and such ready to go, and like a concept for the song. And recently, as we said earlier, because Jack and I have never really wrote lyrics together, not too much beforehand, but over lockdown we've kind of been coming together with ideas and actually writing together, which has been really nice.
So I think that's kind of a sign of where Book Klub might go. Is the marriage of John
and Paul,
sick riffs and depressing poetry. It's what it was always destined to be.
And we certainly all play quite a big part in pretty much everything we've written.
I would say so.
I don't think none of our songs.
We all write the songs. We all write the songs, because I think you're really good at kind of tapping into the emotion of a song. I think so.
I get lost in it.
You get lost in the sauce, exactly, and that's what I love. And you'll do something that really, I think emotion is a big thing that has to come through in music, even if it's just a particular cadence of a chord sequence that kind of just pulls in your heartstrings a little bit.
For me in particular, I can't really write down or talk about emotions. It's more just playing into the song.
Like your fingers.
All the souls in these fingers, man. That's where it all is.
That's where it is. All my feelings.
I feel like Ross is just such a base of just really good taste. I think.
Base of really good taste.
I feel like
I'll take that.
Technical
you're just a database of worthy knowledge and practical knowledge, which we don't always have between us, so it's very handy.
Someone's got to steer the ship.
Exactly. It's true.
And fix it when it breaks down inevitably.
Exactly.
With your tuning peg, your tuning tool.
Oh yeah, my special tool.
Never
gonna get rid of it.
Yes, Ross is missing several tuning pegs on his bass. And
every year there's a new peg that just falls off.
I think you've got one left now.
Aye, it's one. Just one. Oh, you need one.
That's all you need.
All these bassists with a full set of tuning pegs. Shite.
Dedicated.
Exactly.
It's shite.
It's not. You get way more control just doing it with a crude tool where you can
awkwardly jamming it in and fuck. I really get the emotion out of the music after I've had to spend 5 minutes tuning my fucking bass 2 cents. But
everyone's going to be doing it in 2 years.
Just wait. It's the trend waiting to explode.
Indeed.
Apologies, that's quite a tangent.
I feel like we're doing this a lot.
Has making music changed the way that you interact with your emotions, do you think?
Yeah, I feel like every time I get sad, I'm just like, I feel like I need to run to my laptop or to my guitar and kind of make the most of it.
Yeah.
Because, like before, maybe we didn't have an outlet for the way we'd feel sometimes, but now it's very definite. It's like,
Certainly.
I'm almost grateful when I kind of am in a bit of an emotional state, because it means I can actually make something a bit real.
I certainly feel a bit less shit. I'm allowed to say shit.
I've already said the F word many times, so
Feeling very shit. I feel a lot less shit. Yeah, since I've had the outlet making music.
Even listening to music.
Yeah, that helps too.
I need to listen to something when I'm sad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think people who make art in any medium, it's definitely an extension of their emotional state. And
I need it now.
So.
I think we all need it now.
I think we can all relate, like, we all didn't realise just how much it would do when we were feeling shit, or even if we were happy as well. It's a good vessel for the emotions.
Yeah.
Especially on stage.
Oh yeah.
Especially on stage.
Oh yeah.
And we all do it different ways. You get to like just hammer out your fucking emotions, or just like groove along. And I can do that as well, because we're basically locked in.
Yeah.
And then you guys are like taking us. You're getting all the spices and whatnot.
The pizzazz.
Yeah, the
pizzazz.
The gabagoo.
We're all boom boom cha.
Yeah.
You're all da la la la.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we get it.
Delicate voice.
Yeah, but makes us feel a lot better, and we certainly need it.
Yeah. It's good to get something out of just feeling shit, because if you're feeling shit, usually you'll just do nothing. But if you actually turn in, even if it's just like you play a little riff and it doesn't actually ever get recorded, it might come up later down the line. And at the end of the day, you've done something to help bring yourself out of the slump. And I think everyone can. That's what everyone just wants to do, is just get themselves out of a slump.
Yeah. If you can be productive while you're feeling shit, then that's winning. Like that's like
you're already doing better than a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a very hard thing to do, and of course at the same time, it's completely reasonable not to. Like it's very hard. I mean, like I don't think we really even did anything with the band for a good like half year at the start of lockdown. I mean, obviously we couldn't see each other, but it was just it was a weird time.
Yeah,
it was just the lack of like not knowing not knowing where things were going. So like putting down ideas, you were like, is this idea, like, even if I record it and that, is this actually going anywhere? Like, because we want to share this at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But
you just gotta improvise, adapt, overcome. That's what we do.
Adapt, overcome.
We can move on from this. Feel like we've been on this point for fucking ages.
It is a little bit interesting though when you say that, you know, there's something really positive in being able to be creative when you're not feeling so good, and actually do something productive when you're in that place. Is there a line though, like, can you be productive when you're at rock bottom, or is it when you're starting to come out of it that you're able to kind of get yourself out quicker by being creative?
Yeah, I would say you need to, if you're really at rock bottom or you're just not doing well, as we were at the start of lockdown, you kind of have to.
Oh my god, I saw that guy come in.
You just have to. You've made me forget where I was. It's okay.
When we were down at the start of lockdown.
Yeah. You kind of have to. For me anyway, I had to kind of work on myself a bit. Because obviously going into lockdown, kind of had it all laid bare and problems that I probably should have encountered before. But I had some time to work that out, and I came out of it much better. And that's probably why I wasn't able to really do anything for quite a bit. But once I got back into the swing of things and I sorted my shit out, you know.
Yeah.
And I think y'all can relate to that.
Yeah, totally. I feel like, you know, when you're an artist, you put a lot of pressure on yourself to be creative and constantly like having ideas and laying everything down and like always like improving, and you know that in itself can bring you down a lot because you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. So I think it's not something you should ever try and force or get frustrated over. If you're the kind of bad mood where you can be productive, that's good, but if not, then like don't force it. The way you feel is more important than what you get out of it artistically.
Because you're your own biggest critic at the end of the day.
It's true.
But when you take a step back, it's kind of, I always view it as it's important just to keep perspective on things, like not just on what you're doing or where you are, just, and a wee bit on how others view it, because at the end of the day we are going on stage where we're like throwing things out for people to like, not just critique, just listen to or just do whatever the fuck they want with, really, at the end of the day. And it's important to remember, like, we were all that person in the crowd who wasn't doing music or were just learning and were hoping to be in a band or do something artistic one day, and it's like we didn't notice every minor mistake, or we thought those mistakes were part of the process. It's like Bob Ross, you know, it's happy accidents.
Happy accidents.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So shout out Bob Ross.
yeah,
Shout out to Bob Ross.
R.I.P.
Yeah, don't take it too serious.
But yeah, you just got to remember to give yourself a chance, basically, and
Not everyone pops at the same time.
yeah, and
It's like when you put a bag of popcorn in the microwave, you know, they don't all pop at once, so it might not just be your time yet.
Absolutely not.
It'll pop.
You're still
Don't
getting
worry.
plenty of popcorn at the same time, though.
Yeah.
Even if you're not being productive, I think still maintaining that, trying to be productive, like as long as you're still trying to do something. Because at the end of the day, you're never really at rock bottom if you're still getting up out your bed and brushing your teeth automatically. Like, it's a really weird way to look at it.
As long as you're
but,
brushing your teeth, man.
as long as you're still doing something,
Yeah.
you're not just like giving up. That's the only life you need sometimes, is you just keep going for it. But yeah, just keep having fun, basically.
Yeah, just keep having fun. If you're not having fun, then
Don't worry about it.
no pressure.
No pressure.
That seems like quite a nice note to wrap up on. Thank you very much, guys.
No, thank you, man,
for having us.
Maybe so.
That was nice. That was like a real therapy session.
Yeah, that was actually quite good.